What is up, guys? In this video, I'll be breaking down my top 5 fair value gap continuation setups from this past week, and I'll break down each setup with full explanations as well so that you guys can understand, and get the gist so that you guys can start trading this on your own. My fair value gap continuation model literally prints itself every single day, and I trade it with over a 90% win rate each week and every month, whilst actually placing a trade every single day, which most people actually can't really believe. This is by far one of the easiest models to learn and use in the market, whether you're a complete beginner or you trade at that intermediate and advanced level. You're just trying to find that strategy that's consistent and profitable. This model will get you to where you need to be. I do encourage everyone to watch this video to the end so that you can have the best understanding, and it's basically free game. Before we get into the actual top 5 setups of the week, I'm just going to give those who don't know my model a quick little rundown. I do like trading this on the 30-second and the 1-minute time frame. It's just something that I preferably like, mainly the 30-second because I do like fast-paced scalping. I like being in and out of the market within a couple minutes, not holding for 30 minutes, hours at a time. I don't like any of that. It just doesn't resonate with me as a trader, and that's what I always encourage. I always encourage you to find something that resonates with you, and when you do that, you'll feel less obligated to make it feel like a job or a punishment. You'll feel more comfortable trading that model. So this is just something that I can trade comfortably. I can trade it blindly. I could teach a dog this if I really want to. It's very easy. So it's very simple. All I like doing is finding a key level, like anything like time-based liquidity, session highs, session lows, any data highs, data lows, equal highs, equal lows. Mainly anything on the 50-minute time frame up is like my preference. So if I look at this one right here, you can see that we had this swing high all the way up here, right, that we're drawing towards. So what I like to do is, obviously this is a continuation based model. So, I'm basically trading a continuation to this portion. So a good little indication for you, if you're trading this model, is to look for some sort of bullish or bearish order flow towards a higher time frame key level. I don't like focusing on all these different 30-second highs and lows because they're mainly irrelevant. It's the higher time frame that matters to me. Then all I like to see is just spot a fair value gap. If you have multiple stacked ones like this model works perfectly because it literally tells you what fair value gap is going to work. So rather than blindly entering on a gap like this and you're trying to take it up to these levels, all right, you just simply wait for the candles to come in, retrace into that level, which we get right here. All you're going to be doing is you're going to mark out previous candle highs, right? So this one came in, then the next one didn't break above it, didn't close above. So then we have this one, right? It's our most current candle, most previous. And then we finally get an indication where we close above the most previous candle. So this is our current candle that we're visually looking at. This is our most previous. So we don't have to mark out the first one that comes in the gap. So this right here is our indication that price is going to respect this fair value gap and will not bother coming down to here. That's why I like this model, because I was blindly entering on fair value gaps with literally just guessing or hopes and dreams, right? But this one literally indicates to me, hey, this is going to gap up from this level. So essentially you would enter there, right, and put your stop loss below the fair value gap that it's currently respecting. And then all you do is just target that key level and boom, it just rips up and you're pretty much there within a couple minutes. If you want to learn this model and you want to trade this live with me every single day, I trade this model in front of 100 people every single time, then you guys can click the first link in the top of the description. I give you guys the course materials of the strategy, live trade recaps, funded account giveaways, trading PDFs, a breakdown of how I approach every single prop firm, all inside the premium. So if you guys want to check that out, you want to join, and you obviously want to take these setups live with me and learn how to become a profitable trader, like I said, the first link in the top of the description will take you to where you need to go. So this is going to be setup number 2 of the week. So this one right here, we had an hourly unmitigated fair value gap that we're looking to target. All right, so if I go back to the 30-second time frame, you can see that we narrowly missed it right here, but we were trending down. So I was like, okay, you know what? We can obviously look for a trade in that direction. Moving up here, we see we had a lot of fair value gaps, and none of these actually got respected where they never closed below. So what does that tell us? There's no trade, right? Like I said, we have to have that candle closure for us to take a trade, and so you don't get stopped out by something like this. So we finally come into a gap. Again, this is the last potential that we could obviously find for a downside. Otherwise, we're looking just straight for upside potential. So right here, if I play the next candle out, you can see that we closed below previous candle low. Finally respecting a gap. This let us know, hey, we're going to deliver off this level. Now, stop loss could just be about 15 points, which is just above the gap, which is totally fine. 1-to-1 first for the first take profit, or you can obviously trade it down there. All right, and bang, you would have hit that 1-to-1 very easily. You would have hit a 1-to-2 very, very easily as well. But again, you have that option to obviously take it all the way down and do something like that. So that is setup number 2 of the week. Super simple, higher time frame drill on liquidity, and a simple fair value gap continuation model to the downside. Bringing us on to the third setup of the week. This is coming on Thursday right here. So again, very easy setup. This is one of my favorites of this week actually. So here we had this very obvious swing high. You can see there's not really much to the left here, is there? So that's our nearest high. So it's obviously going to be a high on the 15-minute time frame. We kind of had this like multiple fair value gap. You saw that we kind of are bullish right here, basically in this little trend form, right? We're drawing towards that higher time frame key level. So we had a lot of fair value gaps. So obviously, like I said, which one do we deliver off? If we just see price obviously came into this one, and then we're just marking out each previous candle high. In this case, this was the final one to get closed above, which actually inverted in the same candle, which could be even stronger of a conviction. Stop loss should just go below that low at 15 points. That's completely fine. You can 1-to-1R that for consistency or hold that for a 1-to-2 very simply. And so if we just play price out, you can see that we absolutely smacked take profit there. 1-to-1 would have hit pretty much immediately within a couple minutes, but this is a 1-minute trade setup right here. Very easy. Like I said, it doesn't have to be always on the 30-second time frame. And Friday with a double whammy, giving us 2 perfect setups with the fair value gap continuation model. 2 you basically could have added in your positions or whatever you did. I actually managed to close one and then saw another potential and decided to open up another. So yeah, you could have held it. You could have, whatever the way you wanted to manage it, right? I thought I was done on the day with one setup, and then I saw another one on stream present itself, and I was like, okay, we got to take this. So now essentially with this one, we had a nice little 15-minute high again. This is the highest. If I scroll left, you can see very high. All right. We also had a data high, which, like I was saying, is a very good draw on liquidity. So this is red folder news that opened at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can see that we obviously swept out some lows down here. We're delivering from a 15-minute fair value gap as well, but we're starting to obviously look pretty bullish. Right here, we had a 1-minute fair value gap, and all we want to see, like I said, is a simple closure above previous candle high. That's our signal that this gap is going to deliver us higher. You can basically put your stop loss anywhere. Let's just put it underneath this gap, maybe 15 points. That's completely fine, right? And obviously target these levels. Now, I basically ended this day with a 1-to-1R, I'm pretty sure. Got out 1-to-1R. Yep, got out 1-to-1R there, I remember that. And then I saw we were drawing towards these levels, right? I was pretty happy with that 1-to-1R. We were struggling a lot here on the 30-second time frame. That's what encouraged me to get out, just that 1-to-1. But then if I play price out, you can see that we come into, again, we had that pattern again, those multiple fair value gaps. We basically mark out each one until each one that gets respected, and then wait till we get a candle closure above previous candle high, which we get right there towards key levels like a data high and that 15-minute high. All you need to do is now put that there, stop loss underneath, and watch history get made right there. So that was a perfect setup. 1-to-3 risk to reward. Very easy setup. There's 2 perfect setups on the day. Again, if you were looking for sells this entire Friday, you are cooked. But yeah, those are my top 5 setups of the week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Hopefully you learned something as well. I encourage you to go back test this and obviously test out this model for yourself. If you want to check it out, I trade this model between 9:30 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. every 45 minutes every single day. Right, obviously not including bank holidays, but like I said, if you want to trade with me live on stream, you want to learn this model, click the first link in the top of the description. It'll take you to where you need to go, where you can join, sign up. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.